Aló, ¿cómo le va a la gente? Perdonen la demora. Estoy tratando de solucionar otro problema ajeno a Disco Elysium, relacionado a Doom en realidad, pero no lo estoy pudiendo solucionar y no entiendo por qué el cambio de repente que algo no funcione y que antes sí lo hacía. Eh, no sé qué puede ser, sinceramente. Am, Unos mods que antes yo logré jugar ahora no me están abriendo. Y no entiendo por qué, porque tengo los mismos mods de siempre instalados. Probé desinstalando todo, no cambia nada. Incluso probé sin los mods del Injector y tampoco nunca. No sé qué puede ser, sinceramente, no tengo nada más puta idea. ¿Y qué es lo que hay? Este. Sí, no. Se me ocurre una sola cosa que creo que instalé después de haber jugado eh, a esos mods. Capaz. Debería probar con. No, pero incluso sin eso no me estaba apuntando. Así que no sé qué puede ser sinceramente. Pero bueno, ahora abro el disco Elysium. Tengo que explorar la iglesia, tengo que ir por ese lado, seguir explorando un poquito. Que bueno, ahí. Es un área aparentemente bastante más grande de lo que yo me hubiera imaginado. O sea, que ya me puedo hacer un fast travel a dos áreas de ahí. Cuando en la zona principal no me apareció nunca nada de que tuviera fast travel. No sé cómo podría funcionar. Es una pregunta que averiguaremos dentro de poco. Ah. Ahora hago ya digo, ahora ya ahora estoy terminando de hacer otra cosa con lo de Doom, cargando de otros mods que tenía de antes. Pero fuera de eso, nada, hoy me salió un trabajo de que me había mandado una cagada. Eh, y zafé. Fuera de eso, tengo que seguir leyendo mano. La verdad que no lo sé, no lo continué como un tarado. Eh, ¿Qué más? Como estoy acá viendo los mods de Doom. A ver. ¿Qué de esto puede llegar a ser que me esté probando un problema? Pero es que ya probé sin toda esta mierda y no cambió, así que no sé. Si tuviera, no sé, foro o algo por el estilo, que le podía preguntar. Porque otros mods de mapas sí me anduvieron, pero son esos dos en particular los que no están funcionando. Y no entiendo por qué. Justo porque los instalé la otra vez y lo volví a instalar. Es estupísimo, tipo, ¿por qué no dejaría de funcionar después de que lo volví a instalar? Solo que no se hayan instalado bien, ¿viste? ¿Qué sé yo? Hay que volverlos a descargar, capaz. Ah, ¿Dónde quedó el otro? Levitation. Hijo de puta. Acá está. A ver ahora. Sí, pero es que no anda bien el sistema este de librería, de biblioteca. Con lo de, sí, demostramos eh, los mods que has tenido instalados alguna vez. No funca eso. Ok. Boss y Forest. Porque salvo que de repente por haberlos descargado, ni siquiera tenerlos instalados en el momento, sino por tenerlos descargados me haya perjudicado algún otro modo. A esos mapas en particular sería muy estúpido. A su vez no me sorprendería si fuera el caso. Pero sí le puedes instalar a ver uno que otro. Ah, no, no sé, no sé la verdad. Eh, ¿Ya se descargaron? ¿En serio? No, no puede ser. Si Forgot está en Forest todavía no se instaló. ¿Cómo me va a figurar ya desde ahora? Que hay un montón de slaughter maps. Challenge levels. Forgotten Forest ya se descargó. Ok, eso fue rápido. Y Levitation. ¿Dónde está Levitation? Acá está. Y ya se instalaron los dos. Bueno, después reviso si funcionó. Pero ok, dijo Elysium. Por cierto, ayer me olvidé de cambiar la orientación de estas cosas del chat, mi webcam y el texto, porque y estaba tapando a todo el... ¿Cómo se llama? Eh, la cosa de texto de ahí. Funny, funny. Tengo calor. La verdad que tengo calor. Cosa que se ve que fui consiguiendo. Tengo 7 logros de 45 en el juego. Que es por decir boludeces. X cantidad de tiempo, de veces. Y hay otros que la verdad que no sé qué carajo deben ser. Bueno, hay algunas que sí se entiende. Deben ser por lograr ciertas cosas en particular, pero. ¿Hay un logro por jugar pinball? ¿Mm? Hay un logro llamado Unbelievably Boring Fuck. Vi 7 cosas increíblemente aburridas. Pic. Bueno, de una, continuamos. Ok. Salite, mierda este. Veamos.
And Mikhail noticed the
Hola,
windows,
gente.
especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
Un borracho rubio enseña las ruinas castigadas por el clima mientras le explica algo a su hijo. Entonces aproximadamente son
You, officer, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I was just telling my son about this building. Not many people appreciate the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Hipertexto.
Yes, hypertext. Young carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
Hipervínculo cultural.
He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything.
¿A qué decías de las
Oh,
ventanas?
yes. So, Mikhail, they had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
Está hablando sobre el edificio, continúa.
Very important. Mikhail, say hi to the officer.
Apoya una mano en el hombro del chico. El niño se esconde tras el dobleyo del abrigo de su padre, agarrándose de su libro para coordinar de temática Worm.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately.
Ok, gente técnica.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to...
This man
Oh, sorry.
is your half-brother. You feel it. But why?
¿En serio? Mi medio hermano. ¿Qué fue lo que decía antes? Supongo que está aquí por los un gigante, cuando hay tantas cosas reales que ver. Como le decía a Micael antes, que aquí es donde la colisión entre el sueño de 2008 puede que estemos en el lugar más interesante, el mapa de Reballol Oeste. ¿Qué tiene de fascinante un viejo edificio viejo vacío? Tienes pinta de tener dinero. ¿Tienes dinero? ¿Qué tiene de fascinante el edificio?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
Lleva la mano a los ojos con el sol de primavera calentando sus puestos hasta los tres. Os volvéis para mirar el mural que tenéis delante.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Hold on. What's R&D?
Desarrollo y... investigación y desarrollo. Mira el edificio que se llega.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
No creo haber oído de eléctrica.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Rebashol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve. I'm mixing my metaphors here.
Yes.
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
¿Qué computadora de cinta?
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution, revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bringing them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rhein, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
ICN en vez de IBM.
He assumes something like a combat stance, facing the wind.
¿Y qué pasa?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins. All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
¿Me está diciendo que el que Apple construyó este paseo marítimo? Mirá bajo tus pies. ¿Qué pasó con los ingenieros y la gente de la compañía? ¿Qué hicieron los revolucionarios con todas esas computadoras avanzadas? ¿Cómo funcionaban esas computadoras de cinta? ¿Funcionan con las de la computadora?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware. 10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Womty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Hughes joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? He did it. He said Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world.
Vale, el centro Wumpty Dumpty Dum, Paul Ockerman, ¿qué dice Goyo? ¿De qué análisis me habla?
The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Art. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
Se lo está inventando todo, mira a su hijo. Oye, ¿tú puedes inventar todo esto?
In fact, I'm not. The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Mola. Visto cosas mucho más guay, sí.
I certainly haven't. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The failed playback experiment vanished into the fires of 07.
Nah, 2007 no es esto. There's no way. Porque acaso no traduce la misma gente, recién dijeron del 08 y ahora 2007. ¿No estábamos en el 50 nosotros? ¿No estábamos como en 1950? ¿Por qué no se de revolución?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
No me interesa la verdad. Voy a preguntar.
But of course, what else?
¿Tienes dinero?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
He's not gonna give you money. What are you doing? Clearly you were just profiling.
Podría pensar algo de ese dinero sin importancia. No quiero ese dinero, solo quería promover si mis salidas para trazar perfiles funcionaban. Ah, sí.
Of course, detective. I wouldn't have assumed anything else. Matter of fact, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the Vespertine Department of Justice has published a rather interesting paper on the criminal profiling in former socialist states.
No, no lo leí. No tengo
Heck,
idea
if not, then you definitely should. If not for tips and tricks, then just for theoretical curiosity. Anyway, that's just a little something that sprang to mind. You were saying?
Genial, gracias por toda información tan
No,
interesante.
thanks
Sí,
to
sí, sí.
you for having me and little Michaela here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
Sí, supongamos. Sí, ¿qué más hay acá abajo? ¿Qué hay acá abajo? Tendría que ir a pagar mi habitación, por cierto. ¿Qué hay acá? Hoy no hay ninguna bota en el embarcadero. ¿Eso es un embarcadero esto? ¿En serio? Más lento. Un cobertor construido por Chapucera, una fuerte brisa lo podría derribar. La pintura vieja está desprendiendo de la parte superior de este banco cubierto de óxido. ¿Qué hay acá?
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Más agujero de bala, queda patente que aquí pasó algo.
The density and spread of these bullet holes is surprising. This takes a lot of bullets. Fully automatic rifle
Aquí
fire.
fue una ejecución esa acá. ¿Por qué va tanto agujero de bala?
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them. A dozen at least. Their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound. No movement. "10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. Automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. Snowflakes fall on the wooden planks and the surrounding sand dunes, covering the land with the white of innocence. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
What is this?
The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed.
Observa la gente del
A
parado.
host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their
Nada,
personality
¿qué te
or
pensabas? ¿Se puede sacar
background.
esa información?
Ordinary people, familiar, each and every one of them. Comrades, the forsaken, the wretched, who tried to rise against the horrors of the world.
Pila de
7
soldados.
men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one? Men of duty, dark duty. Murderers, twisted by orders. Young boys forced into killing.
La persona que está al margen.
The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air. The lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
¿Quién era quién esta ejecución? Si todo
I'm just a representation of your mental faculties, piecing together any available information. You should probably ask the lieutenant. A cold sea wind blows away the figures.
Ok, interesante. Entré interdict. No es que aquí ya hace mucho que no se usa. ¿Dónde pagar para aparcar aquí? Fijo que ahora nadie lo haría. Uy, aquí qué hay. Más platita. Nice. Más botellas. Más dinero. Nice. Ahora, ¿qué hay aquí? Después de la piedra de todos modos es inaccesible. Vale. Lugar de los llenos entonces. Oh, pipo de fan. ¿Qué es esto? Es un burrito. No me lleva a ningún lado esto. Voy a de acá. salir de acá? Se ve que no. ¿Qué más tiene que ver? Eso ya es agua, creo que no puedo hacer. Esta parte de la cosa no se te necesita desde hace décadas. Buena deducción, querido. Es un genio. A ver acá. Unas jaulas de alimentos construidas con mucho cuidado. Estos troncos empapados huelen al líquido inflamable, pero así ni así van a aprender. Estos pesados bloqueos militares están llenos de agujeros de balas y se están desmoronando. Hay una boya flotada en el agua, tiene escrito el número 11.
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water.
No veo nada
We
interesante.
don't have a reason to. Yet.
¿De qué va esto?
Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the old boy bobbing in the water.
Y pero si me haces que yo no mejora nada, ¿por qué no podría buscarlo ya? Estúpido juego.
Hello, I'm Gary. How do you do, officer? I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
¿No eres un amante de la vida al aire libre?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerados me han entrenado para identificar la más ligera señal de degeneración por la autoridad preeminente. Por desgracia creo que soy un borracho, o un degenerado, o ambas cosas, yo qué sé ya.
Dark times will do that to good men.
Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
A ver, tú también escribiste solo.
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
¿Sabes algo sobre el hombre acabando en tu William?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
Entonces, ¿algo al respecto?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
He's not feeling very comfy in his clothes, is he? Strange.
¿Esta taza es tuya?
My mug? Why would you think that?
Ah, veo que la reconoces, se aprecia en tu mirada. Parece la clase de tío que tendría colección de tazas del estilo. Un tío hogareño, con su colección de tazas coloniales. Su mirada.
I may have had a similar looking mug in the past. That's all.
Sí que resultó sospechoso. Mencionó que encontré la taza en la escena de un linchamiento. Muy bien, te creo. Parece la clase de hombre que es consciente de que mentir a una agente de la ley es un crimen. No, la primera.
Okay. I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have,
Ah, mira, sí que este es el
and
video
I
de la
am very sorry, officer. You're not going to find me, are you?
De hecho lo voy a hacer. Serán 20 reales.
Okay, I deserve that. And I won't do it again. You have my word. I don't know what got into me. Stuffing my garbage in another man's property, I've been having trouble at work lately. The Koikos are price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
Here we go. Start pumping that sweet info.
¿Cómo accediste al contenedor de basura?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez,
Dámela a mí. ¿Por qué no buscar en la basura de la gente?
so I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Gary, ¿pusiste la ropa de una víctima de asesinato del hombre que colgaron tras de Willing y Rex en el dichoso contenedor?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Ok, aplícate.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes
O sea que
lying
vos sos el que te
around
abrí
the
la puerta.
yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
De acuerdo, ¿qué sucedió?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly. Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
No sabrás nada sobre la armadura desaparecida de la víctima, ¿verdad?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this topic is concluded.
Prosigamos por ahora.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
Don't be so relieved yet, Gary. This bad cop may have been in your apartment, admiring your mug collection. Perhaps a little intimidation?
Yo, Gary, vives cerca, ¿verdad? Un apartamento Martínez en la dirección de dicho apartamento. Sí.
Sure do, officer.
¿Has encontrado tu puerta abierta recientemente?
In my home. Yes. When I was going to... How did you know?
El señor Bart creo que consideró necesario abrir tu apartamento. Nada, solo quería preguntar si te has encontrado tu puerta abierta recientemente. No, sí, el señor Bart creo que consideró necesario
Mr.
abrir.
Clare unlocked my apartment?
No, fui yo, petición suya.
So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him.
Ajá, está
What
cagado.
have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
As he lowers his tone, he hunches his back.
Intenta no cagarla, Gary. No es más que una puerta abierta.
What could it be about? I probably talked too loud. In the whirling. About some theories I had. Whatever it is, I'm done with it. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
Ahí está su compostura.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
Algo que ya ha puesto debajo.
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling
¿Qué
pearls
tipo de
of
tiene el
marbles,
coso de la armadura?
stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he
Veo
lives.
que eres un conocedor del equipamiento de combate de alta calidad.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
This shame is surprisingly sincere.
Gary, what's going on?
Este viejo no tiene ni idea de nada.
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
Dame esa armadura.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat. This is it. This will protect your mortal shell. Don it and live.
¿Cuál es la verdadera razón para que tiraste esa por la basura?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. and they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left. So I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
¿Por qué me mentiste, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But
Me ha manipulado, pobre hombre.
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
¿Sabes quién mató al ahorcado?
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word. I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore.
Are we done, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
Gracias por tu cooperación. Pero tengo otra pieza de armadura entonces. Funny.
You look down at the white ceramic sabatons hugging your arches and calves, surprised at how well they fit.
Vestido con armadura futurista como debería ir un poli.
The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and light, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you.
Esta es tecnología enemiga, largamente anhelada, no puedo simplemente disfrutarla, debo estudiarla. Este equipo podría llamarlo bolsillo de pasta, seguro que podría venderse en otros poli.
Certainly, but you may want to hold on to the armor you have for long enough to properly analyze it, figure out its vulnerabilities.
Vulnerabilidades.
Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it, observe its properties, see if there's a weakness in the design.
¿Crees que me suicida acaso?
For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
Ok, interesante. Tiene razón, buen punto. Alright. Hola, señor.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is
¿Qué tal,
arranging
Nick?
some netting. It
¿Cómo
looks
estás,
like
querido?
some
Sí, hoy
kind
se
of
llega a la
trap.
mitad de la semana. La
He
mitad
notices
de la
you.
semana. Es como que a partir del miércoles se empieza a pasar un poco más rápido la semana, sinceramente. El lunes y martes es lo más paja. Miércoles es como que, oh, bueno, ya la mitad. Y después ya el jueves es mejor, es un mejor día.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officer.
No, usted debe ser por él, dicho solo.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Me envía Elena, está muy preocupada por usted y espera su vuelta.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn waterlock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
La esclusa está arreglada, estaba bien cuando la crucé.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary! We can go soon! If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long. I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we go in.
For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him.
¿Cómo se convirtió en criptozoólogo?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up, if you prod a little.
Así que estos son sueños de infancia.
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
¿Por qué siempre entonces criptozoólogo? Los animales de verdad también son desconcertantes.
Real. I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
A decir verdad, lo de ser criptozoólogo supera la mayor parte de las chorradas que he visto hacer a la gente.
My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
Your nerve endings tell you there is no such thing as a positive surprise.
Ya puedo realmente sorprender una vez. Las sorpresas de la vida son en su mayor parte terribles.
Agreed. Yet there is always a chance, albeit a small one, of a truly good surprise. One simply needs to look at the history of science. Serendipities abound.
¿Ya pudo realmente sorprender alguna vez?
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
Entonces nunca he descubierto un críptido.
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
¿Cuántos se han encontrado?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes.
Wow.
2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
¿Tan solo se han demostrado 2 como auténticos?
Yes, the Chateauquan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Yugograd, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves. More so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
2 de 400 no es ni el 1%. Ni siquiera sé lo que decía, es un número insignificante. Es 1%.
In fact, it is 0.05%. Ever more magnificent, should our search contribute to making that number 0.075%.
¿Qué? ¿Qué clase de pruebas usa?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
Gracias por explicarlo.
Yes?
¿Sabía que Gary ocultaba la armadura?
Hell no. I had no idea. And I'm still cross with him, to be honest. It's not like him. He's got his quirks, but dishonesty, disloyalty are not one of them.
Thanks.
He's still glad his friend stood up for him.
Cuente más sobre esta trampa.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
¿Cómo funciona?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
¿La diseñó Elena?
Yes.
More than some, he admires this about him.
Quiero saber cómo se llama.
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
¿Y qué pasa si no funciona?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Yes. What?
Ya va tocando con el cosa, se va a morir.
By woman, you mean my wife, I assume? I will return to her, but I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Come on, Morel. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
No se ve que el famino ahora te importa para Elena. Venga, ya está haciendo esto por usted mismo, no por ella. Es cierto que Elena quería que él vuelva. No, me parece que sí, venga, o sea, está haciendo esto por sí mismo, no por
I'm
ella.
doing this for science, and so is she.
No sabía que el familiar te importa para Elena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
¿En serio? El familiar no me lo contó.
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
No te mueras.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious phasmid.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Te vas a morir,
His
viejo.
spirit may be willing, but his body might be too old to endure the rigors of the coast.
Tal vez puedan volver al building, calentarse y regresar más tarde a comprar las trampas, ¿no les parece?
No, no, no. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
No sirve nada si no te morís en el
He's
camino.
dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
¿Y si compro las trampas por usted?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
El caos es mi método, soy su vástago.
Well, be that as it may, I'd really appreciate the help.
¿Dónde están esas
There are
trampas?
4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church.
Ok.
The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them, you should check at least one of those before returning to this one. since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
Ok, ¿qué hago si hay un phasmid en una de las trampas?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
¿Y si encuentro el phasmid en otra parte?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Échemelo en abundancia cerebral.
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
Estoy listo, pongamos a ello.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask.
Finally, you're being sensible. I'll start packing right now.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
Háblame de qué fue lo que con tanto empeño busca.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
¿Qué hay tan difícil de encontrar?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
Yes.
And I suspect it may have also
Hola,
developed
Pepe, ¿cómo
other
está,
specialized
amiga?
techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
Hi babe, how was your day? Well, my house is a fucking house, Karen, so not so fucking good. No sé si alguna vez viste ese video, ese meme. ¿Por qué está tan interesado en ese bicho pálido? No parece tan colorido como algunos otros políticos de lo que ha ido a ver.
Typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for.
Está bien, pero hay un montón de insectos que apestan, son una reverenda cagada.
Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my, of any, cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defenses, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
Would be glory itself.
¿Qué clase de técnicas especializadas usa?
It's
para
my
ocultarse?
hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defenses work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid.
¿Qué descubierto hasta ahora sobre él?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
Sí, que nadie ha encontrado uno nunca.
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Pero si nadie puede probar que existe, ¿cómo sabe que es real?
I know it's real. By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Lena dijo que lo había visto aquí en Martínez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martínez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
¿Y si se murió ya?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Ajá. Partenogenesis. Ya sé, partenosis.
Parthenogenesis, meaning the females don't need males to reproduce. makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
¿Qué listas? El macho es una forma de vida deficiente. El mundo sería un mejor lugar si las mujeres no necesitaran a los hombres para reproducirse. ¿Hembras reproduciéndose sin machos? Menuda farsa, un crimen contra la pasión y el sentido común. Pues la verdad es que esto no despierta ningún sentimiento especial en mí. Funny. Menuda farsa, un crimen contra la pasión y el sentido común. Es divertido. No estoy de acuerdo, obviamente, pero es divertido.
Nature does not concern herself with ethical propositions. As a scientist, my interest is strictly dispassionate.
Mire. Uy, aquí. Platita aire. Platita. Ok, la iglesia. Ah, para, ¿y esto qué es? Ah, esto es la... No, esto no es, la iglesia está al lado. Qué bien, pero yo no sé si viene esto, ¿no? ¿Viene de ese lado? No. Las cadenas se ven en el océano hacia quién sabe dónde. Estos engranajes oxidados hacían girar toda la maquinaria. El edificio que tienes delante recaba el motor, debía ser grande. Hace poco te tirado este barril, todavía huele a polvo algo. Uy, ¿esto? Ah, una de las trampas.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring.
Mira alrededor.
Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Mira alrededor.
The reeds shake sadly in the coastal breeze, weighed down by rain. They seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year.
Ok, acá encontré una de las trampas entonces. Bueno saberlo. Ay, dio la música. Alguien hizo aquí una hoguera hace mucho tiempo. El panel de control de la torre de radio ahora convertido en oxidada. Panda perfumada. Hay pequeñas ensenadas a lo lejos hacia donde los postes se hacen el camino. La escalera está más velocidad para usarla, debe construirse se va con ella. Ah. ¿Qué hay aquí dentro?
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
¿Qué leche es esto?
The concrete structure looks military in origin, over half a century old at least, but sturdily built.
¿Se podrá abrir?
An old door, worn by elephants. You rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door with all your weight. It does not budge. Not only is it locked, it's also jammed shut.
Me pregunto qué habrá dentro. ¿Cómo puedo entrar?
You can't. This door cannot be opened. Ever.
What?
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it.
Imposible de abrir. Damn.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood. The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold. The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow. You see a yellow circle with two X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow. Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
Pon la pegatina en tu portapapeles tras la última anotación. Pon la pegatina en tu portapapeles en toda la portada. Yes.
Voila. Looks very modern. The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open. As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area. Its black halls and dusty machines. Then the feeling passes. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum. In the heart of the city.
Tengo miedo. Digo una estrella de quietud, sea mejor que no corras, camino. Esta grotesca piedra de madera parece sin acabar. Parece como si quisiera fusionarse con la iglesia. Ok. Dos patrones en cisa, igual que los pies afuera. La pizarra está llena de ecuaciones complejas, parecen recientes. ¿Tiene algo que ver con las radiofrecuencias? Seguro. La música de esta área. Un cuento incluye en el agua y un cable de corriente conectado directamente a él. Puede que los cables funcionen como micrófono de contacto. Bobinas de magnéfono GER vacías. Una grada portátil en Hamamogoshi.
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity. This is the Ream Prefect, radio computer model number RC7024, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim. Better not touch it. Who knows what evils it may hide? As you step closer, you notice fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident on Centrum. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Ivonne, soy yo otra vez, ¿cómo está?
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
Lo siento, olvido mirar dentro del núcleo para comprar el filamento que está insertado.
Please end the call and do that.
Otra acción, ¿cómo no saben cómo se llama maldita?
I have two machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brun, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brun, that's the church. Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, the doomed commercial area.
Anything else I can help you with?
Voy a colgar.
Goodbye, Fortress accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons.
Pulsar imprimir.
Nothing happens. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. This is the machine's filament memory. Press play to access its contents. The speaker comes to life. Step.
Good afternoon, Fortress accident on Saint-Brun.
This
This is the East Good. Please repeat the password.
Por favor, la cosa.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy.
Sí.
Now, can you please repeat the password?
No me sé la contraseña.
Received. I will register this login attempt. Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Pero otra vez creo que ya tengo la contraseña de mi tecla personal.
Good. Please repeat.
Mi cumpleaños.
No.
¿No me puedo dar una pista?
Still no.
Bueno,
Received. Fortress accident. Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard is...
Fuck, no voy a poder nunca acceder a estas mierdas. ¿Más zapatos? Una nena tiene tejido junto a la cadera con una tallada. Espérate que se agota mucho la mina. La escarcha forma patrones polares en iglesia que difunden la visión. Otro bufando. Pandillero no llora.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Espera, creo que todavía tengo algo. Creo que todavía tengo algo.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums, you can hardly hear your own breathing.
Grita tan fuerte como pueda.
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. It's unnerving. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Intenta algo más allá de los hombres. No, fallé. No se nota.
Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin.
¿Cómo es la oscuridad?
Filled with vague shapes of woodwork, the sense of a great height. It's like you see your own face reflected back at you in a vanishing geometry. A strange, alien image that's supposed to be you. There's nothing. You're dizzy and disoriented as you see dark and more dark rising.
Pestañear. Ah, mira, una figura.
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
Tiago.
Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive and is now studying you intently.
Oh Dios, casi me duermo.
The crab man.
No pronunciate, quédate callado.
The man leans forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry. Everything's gonna be all right. You come to the right place.
¿Y acá para qué?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
Secta.
Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Sí, supongo que tengo un problemilla y que últimamente se me ha ido un poco las manos, pero soy policía, necesito hablar contigo sobre tu policía, no sé nada más sobre el consumo de alcohol.
Está crudo, güey. I see deep inside.
Es mexicano.
Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence. And you don't even know it.
Genial, más condescendencia. Qué original. La idea de venir de parte de unos buenos que me quieren meter en zona.
I was like you once, just dragging my feet to the next bottle. Shit was dark, Holmes.
You know, he may be strange, but you might want to pay attention to what he's saying. Look at these crazies. What is this? A fucking intervention?
Fuck you, crabman! You don't tell us what to do! Tell him!
¿Quién te crees que eres? Pero si eres un colgado, nunca mejor dicho, ¿qué me estás contando? Creo que me gusta...
It doesn't matter who I am, Way. I'm just bringing you the message of the mother's love. She don't want you to hang yourself on your own stubbornness.
Uy, Dios. No puedo más.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
This Mother of Silence sounds like a serious player. You might want to be careful until you find out what you're dealing with.
Tú debes ser hombre cangrejo.
Never known myself to be a crab, but if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
Tiquismiquis también eres una araña. Tienes un cajuquero, sientes que no te dejo. Sí. Adiós, ¿qué estoy diciendo? Básicamente sí, no hagas ningún tiquismiquis, yo.
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
¿Qué es antes de convertir en hombre cangrejo?
I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
Ay, Dios. Bueno, no. Casi me caigo. Tanta gente perdiendo la memoria, debe ser un mensaje de perdición. Debe ser un mensaje de perdición.
Nah, it's not like that. Best thing that could happen to you. Losing. Tiago's my name, by the way. Though those syllables don't mean much to me. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellas. Your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore. That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
Bueno, cálmate un poquito. Sí, sí. Lo voy a guardar acá, si no, voy a dormir. Voy a dormir. Me gustaría hacer más, pero tengo mucho sueño. No me sirve hacerlo así. Mañana capaz lo continúo, entonces no sé, pero no, me suena que me está agarrando, no es normal. Bueno, nos vemos, gente. Perdón por que stream tan cortito y no haber progresado demasiado. En realidad me hubiera gustado hacer más cosas en ese stream, pero el sueño que me está agarrando hace unos minutos ya no puedo más. Así que nos vemos. Bye.